hearing about Doc now and all that, it kind of matches up with what I experienced with my other friends that I made in room 5, because I have kept up with them. One of our things that we did, I mean, after all, you're in the U shape. I think we had about 9. I think there were probably 9 recliner chairs, and some of us are there almost every day, all week. And one of the things that we would do is take each other's pictures with each other, and then text it to each other so that we could stay up with each other later. And so we got each other's pictures, and we were able to text each other. And the really hard thing for me since then is that, yes, I've kept up with the people that have lived. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to work through that. I mean, there were actually quite a few that died that first year after they left Invita. They were presumably healthy at the time. And for example, there was this group of 3 girls, all in their 30s, early 40s. They all had some form or another of colorectal cancer, which, from what I understand, is like, the incidence of that are going way up. So these 3 girls, they were Instagram friends, and they'd known each other on Instagram before they came. They all came to Invita at approximately the same time. They were, all in their 30s, had their kids at home and stuff. And it just really disturbed me that all 3 of those died within the first year of all of us leaving Invita at about the same time. And it's like, well, is that Invita's fault? Is it their fault? Whose fault is it? How come this couldn't change? And I think that it's not anybody's fault. It is a symptom of what we've got happening right now in general, where people, me included, didn't know exactly what to do to stay healthy and then have the resources, the places to go to get what you need to be healthy. And so it's so that's where, since I left Invita, I've been working on that diligently, because I realized that I did not want to be that way. I wanted to be a success story, and I wanted it so bad. I just had to go talk to as many people as I could get. So I haven't gone to regular medical doctors as such, but I have several naturopath doctors, acupuncturists, chiropractors, alternative practitioners that are just out to help. But I guess it's kind of getting ahead of the story, because yes, I'm here. I have, kind of made it almost 2 years without a recurrence. But I would say that has not been easy. It's not just like go home, eat organic, think happy thoughts. Right. It just didn't work that way. And so, yeah, I got up with a doctor that was very helpful in encouraging me to, well, number one, I told him I thought that my ostomy, my colostomy that I had, they told me it was going to be permanent. That thing was never coming out. And he said, how do you know? I said, because they said so. And he says, well, if God didn't say so, then it's not to be so. You need to at least ask, But he's all, and he was right. Because I got onto, a lot of supplements that he wanted me to take, and trying to figure out exactly what the body needs, I feel like I was able to dodge another bullet, because after I came home from Invita, had the big surgery to take the tumor out, I was getting blood tests every 3 weeks just to make sure that I was monitoring everything. And there was a time when some of those blood test numbers started rising. Okay. And I'm like, I'm in a better situation. Things are wonderful. I'm back home. I'm eating my own food. It's all organic. How can this be possible that this is coming back? Right. It hadn't come back yet, and actually there was an oncologist in Portland that kind of indicated that, well, you've got a few spots of something there, and as soon as they get big enough, then we'll biopsy them, and then we'll see if we can treat you. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So, but this doctor, he used the Quest 4 bioresonance machine to figure out what my imbalances were nutritionally. I started taking everything that he said to take. Those numbers got immediately better. I mean, we're talking immediately. The very next blood draw was better.
Nice.
And that's what eventually led to me being able to have my colostomy reversed, because that doctor that did the reversal, she said, I am not going to even attempt to reverse your colostomy unless I don't find any cancer in you anywhere. So they did every test, scanned me head to toe, did every test they could imagine. Couldn't find cancer anywhere. And then she said, well, if I get in there and find that you have way too much scar tissue, I mean, the scar tissue after you've had so many abdominal surgeries, the scar tissue can pack in there like concrete. And if that's the way it is, I'm just not going to be able to physically, put your pipes back together. So, but that was also the thing, because all of the supplements that I was taking had a lot of enzymes in them, and the herbs and things like that to get your body healing right. When she went to do the surgery, she said, yeah, we were shocked, really, because she said most of the scar tissue that was inside your guts, it was there, but it was soft.
Wow, amazing.
So she was actually able to do the reconnecting because it wasn't like everybody else that normally comes in there. So I'm like, this thing of supplementing with all these enzymes and all these herbs and making sure that everything I'm taking is balanced, that really made it, not just so that the cancer would stay away, but that I could reverse that colostomy and be a normal person again, So that was huge. But yeah, they were very amazed that when they did put the colostomy in the first time and took the tumor out, that there was no cancer there either. The tumor really was dead. And that is thanks a lot to what Invita did for me and their treatments. The tumor at its largest, I guess when I got to Invita, it was about 20 centimeters, which is like 7 inches by 7 inches. So I don't know, yay big. And I think that it actually expanded after I got there to 23 centimeters and then started shrinking after they did that. But I literally looked 7 months pregnant because it's right in my abdomen. And because the tumor was using up all of my nutrition, not just what I was eating, but it was eating me. It's called cachexia. And that's where the body, I guess there's actually a place where it actually switches over. And it doesn't care what you eat anymore. You can quit eating sugar. You can quit doing whatever you want.
It'll take whatever.
Once it's starting to eat your body, it just eats your body.
Wow.
And so I have a couple of pictures of me where, my arms look like toothpicks, and yet you've got this big old belly sticking out there. I remember when I first went to Arizona, I had just gotten there. Karen was with me. We were staying in a hotel that first night, and I got out of the shower, and it's one of these hotels that has these like big mirrors all around. And I got out of the shower and looked at myself, and I've seen pictures of these starving Ethiopian children where they've got like bones everywhere and then this big belly. Well, that's exactly like what I looked like. And I like cried and went and got Karen and showed her in the mirror. I said, do you see what I see in the mirror? And she's like, yeah. And I said, I wish that I could be like Jordan Rubin. Jordan Rubin is the guy that he later founded Garden of Life, and he wrote the book, The Maker's Diet, because he had Crohn's.
Okay.
And he took a before and after picture of himself and put that in there to what he used to be. And I told her, I said, I'm scared. I don't want a before and after picture because that looks too bad. I don't want to remember that. So we actually didn't take a picture. But yeah, it was I was probably closer to death than I actually realized at the time. I just knew that I was in a lot of pain. And soon after I got there, I basically filled up with water. I thought that it was lymphedema. I found out later that, the kidneys were like unable to get rid of the fluid. When I first got there, it was like it was an emergency visit to them because I wasn't even able to hold down water. I had been throwing up water. And so they were having a hard time finding a vein to give me fluids when I first got there.
Wow.
So to go from that to, I had an attempted surgery to remove the tumor. They couldn't do it. They sewed me back up, said that thing is too vascular. You'll bleed to death on the operating table if we try. So they didn't do that. I had targeted radiation. I had low dose chemo. And it worked.